The key to the Biden administration winning the race to get 30 more federal judges confirmed before January 3rd, when the new Congress comes in, the key to it all rests on the shoulders of 3 senators. That's it. 2 are Republican. Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and a independent/Republican named Joe Manchin of West Virginia. We don't get their act together, those 30 judgeships are not going to be filled. I'll talk about the strategy and how we get around it and what's going on so far so that Joe Biden continues to leave a legacy of helping to reshape the federal judiciary. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF, and I am Michael Popok. Let me give you what I'm talking about. When I say it comes down to 3 people, people are like, Popok, there's 100 senators. It's only going to come down to 3. There are Joe Manchin, who did not run for re-election and has always been unreliable, is a nice way of putting it, for the Democrats, is part of this majority that the Democrats have that is taped together with toilet paper and chewing gum. It's holding this alliance together. We need every one of those votes in order to secure with a tie-breaking vote by Vice President Harris as the president of the Senate to get any of these people confirmed. For those that are kind of new to our democracy, the Senate confirms, not the House, these seats. We've got the Senate majority, lame duck, in the Senate. We move forward. Now, Joe Manchin has let it be known that he will not vote with the majority of the Democrats unless at least one Republican supports the judicial nominee. Just one. Enter Susan Collins, Maine, Lisa Murkowski, Alaska. One or both of them are the only ones we can count on because the rest of MAGA are not going to buck Donald Trump. Donald Trump has let it be known, he gave out an order on social media and otherwise through all of his channels that no Biden judicial appointments should go forward any longer. That he should not get, Joe Biden shouldn't get the benefit of what Donald Trump did in the waning days of his administration when he got 14 of his people picked and confirmed before Biden came in. But so you can't count on any MAGA Republicans. The only 2 that are independent of the Republicans that are left are Susan Collins in Maine and Lisa Murkowski in Alaska. Their role will be diminished when the new MAGA Senate comes in January the 3rd, not the 20th, the 3rd, because they don't need their votes because they're going to have 4 plus 3 or plus 4 in the Senate. And so now you've got to hold the Joe Manchin vote together. Now, fortunately, it has worked. Just to show you that this creaky mechanism that I just outlined works, we just in the last day or so, we just had the confirmation of April Perry, Judge Perry now, in the Northern District of Illinois, which is sort of where Chicago is located. She got out of committee and she got voted on by a full floor vote, 51 to 44. A couple people were missing. You just have to get a majority of who's there. So they got 51 Democrats, 4 Republicans, 2 of which were named Murkowski and Collins. And as these candidates get a little bit more objectionable, like Joe Biden, to his credit, has nominated for the first Muslim American to ever be on an appellate court. He's sort of stuck right now. He's stuck in committee and then he's got to get to a floor vote. But if they can get Collins and or Murkowski to join the Democrats, then Joe Manchin will come along and these people will get confirmed. Now, they've already gotten far along with about 17 of their of this total that I'm talking about. 17 are already voted out of committee successfully. The committee, the Judiciary Committee, dominated by Democrats on a purely party vote, voted for 16 of these judicial nominees to go to a full floor vote. 8 are still in committee that have to be voted out. So again, we implore on Legal AF, our public, our audience, we implore the Democrats and this majority to work overtime and weekends to get these people that are out of committee voted on, to get the 16 that are already out of committee voted on and confirmed, for Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski to do their patriotic duty as statespeople and vote for these quality candidates and let Joe Biden fill his allotment of federal judges. Now, some people might be wondering, why did we leave it to the last minute? Well, there's always a group that's left. Maybe 14 like Trump or 5, could be 30 like here. But don't blame Joe Biden. First of all, vacancies come up a little bit, not on a schedule. It has to do with retirements and new positions that are open, but mainly retirements. And he can't control the retirements. That's one. And two, I just described to you a very creaky mechanism that Joe Biden has had to operate in order to get his federal judges confirmed. He's got to get Joe Manchin on board. He's got to get Collins or Murkowski on board in order to satisfy Joe Manchin. Then he's got to have the vote. Then he's got to make sure there's enough Democrats present in order to have the vote be majority and rule in favor of the person. Then he's got to get him out of committee, and it gets tied up in committee by the Republicans who don't want to confirm these people. Then he's got to get, if there's a tie, he's got to get the vice president, Kamala Harris, to drop everything she's doing, run over to the Senate chamber and vote to break the tie. It takes a minute. So I'm not here to blame. Now we just got the reality. The question that's been asked of me, can they move heaven and earth in the remaining time until January 3rd while they're lame duck to get these people confirmed and get Joe Biden an additional 47 confirmed in the last several weeks of his administration? The answer is yes. Ever heard of NAD+? It's in every living cell of your body. It helps keep us young, repairing damage, detoxifying, and giving us energy. But did you know between age 20 and 50, our NAD+ levels are cut in half? No wonder we start having less energy, less vitality, or simply feeling old. So unless you want to feel old and run down, you're going to want to boost your NAD+. And Qualia NAD+ makes it easy. It's a simple supplement, clinically studied to boost your NAD+ levels by an average of 74%. It's vegan, gluten-free, and non-GMO, and packed with ingredients to help naturally boost NAD+ production, to help you feel at your peak and in your prime way deeper into life. Your future self will thank you. Qualia NAD+ is a supplement that includes ingredients called NAD+ precursors that your body can convert into NAD+ to boost your NAD+ levels up to 74%. And Qualia NAD+ has many other holistic ingredients that support all major aspects of NAD+ production in your body. I want to feel 30 when I'm 58. That's why I'm staying at the cutting edge of aging research and boosting my NAD+ levels with Qualia NAD+. After just a couple of months on Qualia NAD+, I'm feeling energy support and vitality return that I haven't felt in years. This stuff's amazing. To boost your NAD+ levels up to 74%, go to qualialife.com/truth for up to 50% off and use code TRUTH at checkout for an additional 15% off. That's qualialife.com/truth for an extra 15% off your purchase. Thanks to Qualia for sponsoring today's episode. Is it going to be easy? The answer is no. Is it going to be incredibly difficult? Yes. Is it going to require overtime work by the Senate that's already a bit fatigued? Yes. Are we going to have to make sure that Collins and Murkowski are satisfied in order to get one or both of them to satisfy Joe Manchin and get his vote on board? Yes. And that's just the way it's going to have to be. Kamala Harris, don't go anywhere. Pitch a tent. You're going to be going back to the chamber a lot between now and January 3rd to get these people done. And what is the reason for this? I mean, if it isn't obvious, I'll explain it. Right now, Joe Biden has gotten 214 federal judges, mainly trial court level, a few at the appellate level, confirmed. 214. Sounds like a high number. How do you compare that to Trump? Well, Trump got 234. So right now, Joe Biden is 20 less than Donald Trump. It represents about, if you add it all together, about 11% of the judiciary is now been replaced by Joe Biden. Same amount for Donald Trump. So about 22% of the judiciary will either have been appointed by Trump or Biden. Now, people retire all the time. It's a lifetime appointment, but you still have people like Reagan appointed people, if you can believe it, are still around. Clinton, they're starting to, age out too. But there's no aging out. They stay in senior status as long as they want. You can have I had a 90-year-old federal judge in a case a few years ago. It happens, right? But the goal here is to get this last 47 through. Looks like it's about 30 that haven't yet gone through either committee. let alone a floor vote. It's the 30 that I'm concerned about. The ones that are in committee, just coming out of committee, all right, they're in the process. They'll come out in the next week or two. There'll be a vote. They got to put 30 people through the confirmation process, starting with the committee, with a group of obstructionist Republicans in MAGA who have been told by Donald Trump, don't agree to anything. Could they stand up and filibuster and try to? They could. They could. That's where the public comes in. Public disdain, public approbation, public calling up their senators and telling them, don't block the vote of the judges. We'll continue to follow it here so that you know what's going on and how important it is. I can't express to you how important it is not to give Donald Trump, like a 30-point lead upon his arrival to the game on Jan 20, and to give him 30 more to fill. We're already worried about the United States Supreme Court and how many justices he's going to get. Is Alito going to retire? He says no, but insiders say yes, which gives him another person who's going to be on the bench for 25 years, cementing that seat. Is Clarence Thomas going to retire? No, but he's old. He's older. Now is the time. While Trump's in office, they've done their job. They've went on they can strike off every item on the Federalist Society Leonard Leo shopping list. Now's the time to head for the exit if you're going to go. Otherwise, if he doesn't go, Trump, and they don't die in office, and Trump or a Democrat comes in 4 years, they've missed their opportunity. So there's a lot of pressure on Clarence Thomas and Alito now. But we need the federal judges. We're not going to get the Supreme Court for 4 more years to be able to reshape it. So we got to make it hard now and take as many of the federal judges off the board as possible. So I need your help. Support this process. Not just the White House. Let your senators know that you want them as their primary mission between now and Jan 3 to get this slate of federal judges on the Democratic side confirmed. We will need them in the future for the 1,000 lawsuits, and I'm not making that number up, the 1,000 lawsuits that are going to be filed against the Trump administration, its executive orders, and its policies from now, starting on Jan 20 forward. And we need favorable federal judges in their seat to handle those cases on the way in. I'm Michael Popok, Legal AF and the MeidasTouch Network. Take a moment, hit the subscribe button in both places. We built Legal AF about a month before the election in order to be here on the other side in case things went south. Right? We are behind the glass that you break in a case of emergency. And we need your help in hitting the subscribe button and here on the MeidasTouch Network as well. So until my next Legal AF podcast on Wednesdays and Saturdays here on the MeidasTouch Network or my contributions on the Legal AF YouTube channel, I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.